coming in. Let's tell you a little more about the Jharkhand air crash. It's a shocking revelation. Ill-fated plane had no black box. Last moments of the aircraft will always remain a mystery. No cockpit voice recorder, no flight data recorder. Norms say black box is not needed in small planes, and that's the reason why one will never know why this plane crashed and what really happened in the last few moments of this crash. There are details coming in at this point in time, but what we've been given to understand is that norms, in fact, do not require a black box to be there in small planes. This was a small one that crashed in Jharkhand. A shocking revelation here, where we are learning that the plane had no black box, no cockpit voice recorder, no flight data recorder as well. But norms do in fact indicate that small planes are not required to have a black box, and that's the reason why it did not. It was a fatal air crash that killed 7 people. But the fact is right now that one will never learn why this plane crash happened and what really happened in the last moments of the time when this small plane in fact crashed, killing 7 people on board. Lives that have been lost in the Jharkhand plane crash, but we will never find out why this happened. 7 people had died. They boarded, remember, the Delhi-bound aircraft which crashed in Jharkhand's Chhattra soon after it took off from Ranchi. Amit is with us. Amit, we will never know why this plane crashed. I understand from what you're telling us that norms do indicate that there is no need for a black box to be present in a small flight like that, in a small plane like that. But what about the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder?
Well, Sneha, this is a big setback, or rather has made the task of the investigators, that is the AAIB, even more difficult and complex. Because this was Redcraft's aircraft, was a small aircraft, and there are 2 set norms for installing the black box, and we are further breaking it down for our viewers because this is very technical. So there are 2 components of a black box, CVR and FDR. CVR is essentially cockpit voice recorder. So whatever conversation happens within the cockpit, all of that is recorded in the CVR. Now, as per the norms, any craft which was below 5,700 of maximum takeoff weight was exempted from the norm of having CVR. Which means that there was no cockpit voice recorder in this particular aircraft, and hence no conversation between the pilots that happened in the final moments of the crash would have been recorded, no data of those final moments. Now, flight data recorder, FDR, is also missing because, again, the norm, when it kicked in, this particular aircraft was manufactured even before that. So the aircraft is actually which was being used by Redbird Airways, is part of the initial batches, or rather the first batch of this Beechcraft C-90 aircraft that was manufactured by the manufacturer, and 1987 is the manufacture year for this aircraft. So this happens to be possibly the first batch of the aircraft manufactured in USA. And that makes means that there was no FDR in this aircraft as well.
Okay, so the fact is that we'll never know what really happened here and why did this crash take place. I'm going to thank you, Amit Bharadwaj, with those details at this point in time.